Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of Star Trek Adventures, which we weren't really planning on the last time that we did this. But everyone had such a great time that here we are again on the USS Ginsberg. So, just a real quick rundown. I'm Jeremy Hochhalter. This is my channel here. I publish things on DM's Guild and DriveThru RPG. You can follow me on Twitter at WHPubs. I feel like there was something else I was going to say, but I think it was the thing about your adventure there, Al. So why don't I hand it over to you? Introduce yourself. Tell us about what you want everyone to go take a look at on Modifius.net.
All right, so how's it going? I'm Al Spader, GM_Admiral on all the social medias. Yeah, I'll be running this game tonight. We're going to be focusing on some of the actions that can be done while you're on the bridge during this session. Last session we focused on an away mission, so I want to give everybody a chance to try a little bit of everything before we dive really into a major story arc. And this mission that we're running tonight is really special because it's actually one of the first things that I wrote for Modifius when they asked me to come on board and write Star Trek Adventures for them. It's a package of what we call mission briefs, which are basically one-page missions. Their mission brief packs have 10 missions in each of them. They're all completely free. So if you're looking for some free content to read through, if you want to read through this mission and see how I interpreted it and delivered it, we'll provide the links for you in the session notes and whatnot. But if you just look up mission brief anomalies, it'll be the first thing that pops up on your Google search, and you can check it out. But again, there are 11 packs altogether, I think, so far. So that's 110 missions if you ever want to run a game just with free mission packs. So definitely check it out at some point.
That's more episodes.
I think what we're going to do, you want to go around and have everybody introduce themselves?
Yeah, let's do that. I was going to say that's more episodes than some of the series got. I'm just saying.
That's true.
Yep, very much so.
Why don't we have our newcomer, Al, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us who you're playing. Yeah,
Andrew,
sorry.
go ahead.
Woo-hoo! I'm starting off already.
No, he's Al. I'm Andrew. Hi, I'm Andrew Bishkinsky at Sword Compass on Twitter and somewhere on the elephant one. I forget what the exact thing is, but I'm sure you can find it. I'm very happy to be joining. I write mostly some RPG stuff for Dungeons and Dragons and some other things, and I know Al and Jeremy from their writings and things, and very excited to be joining. I will be playing Vasily of 6, who is a human liberated Borg. He was assimilated by the Borg some 20 years ago, and was given the designation 6 of 6, and then he was saved or liberated a couple of years back and has been integrating back into Starfleet. So he now has a strange combination of his former human name and his Borg name. So he is now Vasily of 6, or the crew typically just goes with Vasily or some other combination of that. So yeah, I can't wait to jump in and do some Star Trek.
Nice. Adela, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us about your character?
Sure. My name is Adela. I am going to be playing a Beta Z doctor named Jissa. She loves good food, she loves good company, and she loves to take care of you. That's who I'll be playing.
Awesome. And your SO, not XO, is Matt. So let's head over to Matt.
Hi, Matt. I am going to be playing Lieutenant Commander Gabriel Martin, Chief Engineer of the Ginsberg. He/him pronouns. He is super excited because ship just got back from refit, and it's like brand new toys to play with and fix, remodulate, reconfigure, and tweak. And Yeah.
Nice. And speaking of the XO, Kevin, why don't you introduce yourself and your character?
Yes, hi, I'm Kevin, and I'm found online at Kevran Games. I am glad to be back. I'm thrilled to be back, one could say. I am returning as Commander Idan Rawl, who is a Bajoran first officer of the ship. He is young and hungry, so to speak. He's looking to prove himself, and he is here with this crew. So I'm happy to be back. I'm thrilled to be back. So thanks for having me. Thanks, everybody.
Nice. And I guess I should introduce my character. I'm playing Tarjem. He's a Trill. He is the new chief security officer on the bridge. He's only been on the ship for a few months. Really only knows the XO from previous service. And that's where I'm going to leave that. But before we dive in, our fantastic game director has a wonderful giveaway for this evening. Oh, two wonderful giveaways. Oh my goodness.
So the first thing we got is the Rules Digest. This is basically original series themed rulebook. It is really well organized, and it's digest size, so you can take it wherever you need to go. This is basically, these are the Federation tiles that are used if you want to use maps and whatnot in your game. And it's got like all the different rooms on the ship, and there's astrometrics down here and whatnot. So they did a really nice job with these, beautiful art, and we'll be giving away one of those as well tonight.
That's awesome.
Great
I
stuff.
think that's everything and everybody. Why don't we jump on in?
All right, so just to jump right in with what Matt was saying earlier, the USS Ginsberg has just finished its refit at Narendra Station. She is an Akira-class ship tasked with exploring the Shackleton Expanse, and as part of the refit, all of her phaser arrays were replaced by graviton arrays, which is a new type of technology that is reverse engineered from Borg weaponry. And so it made sense to get a liberated board on board the ship, and that is what we are heading into the Shackleton Expanse with. We also have gravimetric torpedoes, also same type of reverse engineering from Borg technology. So not the typical payload you see on a Federation starship, but some new kind of experimental weapons. And we're going to start on the ship itself. The bridge crew has kind of been, they've wrapped up their duty on the bridge, and it's been about 45 minutes to an hour after they've left the bridge, and everybody has gone off to do their own thing. And this just kind of give us an insight as to what's happening around the ship. So we're going to start with Adela, and I believe, Adela, you said you were going to make your way to do some type of food preparation or something. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. Well, I mean, I am the ship's doctor, and I would like to make sure that everybody on the ship is feeling warm and cozy and welcomed, kind of healing the heart. So once a week, I have decided that we are going to have a special dinner plan. We're going to take a civilization during a time, a period, and decorate the mess hall. So this week is my favorite, Klingon. We're having Klingon cuisine. We're having blood wine all over the place, and this is going to be one hell of a party. And Jess is all about it.
And
So,
as just to start like setting up, the tables and
mhm.
getting all the metal silverware out, and the goblets ready, and all this, a young ensign who happens to be a Klingon named Ensign Rark comes in, and she actually has 2 containers, one under each arm, and she's like, "Where do you need this?"
Over in the corner, please.
You
Or
should you
right on top of that table. Here, knock everything off of that table and put it right on top of that table. Thank you.
Commander, it's typical that you taste the purity.
Um. Okay. Perfect.
So she like sets one down and undoes a cap, and you see there's a bunch of like live and wriggling worms. Some gach is here in this container,
Yes.
and it is your job to taste it
Mhm.
for the first time to ensure that
It's
it is good for
fresh.
the crew.
It's delicious. It's fresh. It's not dead, sad. She grabs one and she just goes ahead and sucks it all down with a lot of slurpy noises, like somebody
And
in a ramen bar.
and
Delicious.
Rock is like, yeah, and she like sets the other container down and goes over to the table and just like brushes everything off, and she's like, all right, let's begin.
Kapla!
Any specific decorations you would like to have out and about for your dinner?
Well, I mean, obviously, lots of blood and wine all over, like stations all over the place. I think there should be weaponry up on the walls.
Mhm.
So we've got just a bunch of different kinds of weapons, um, different stations based on like very popular Klingon war tales. So
Okay.
one corner is just going to be, I don't know, sort of like as much of a cave as I can muster up. Maybe there's some crepey papers or crepe paper, or maybe there's some like hand drawn things or whatever. But it's meant to be glorious, all of
Yeah,
it.
and because
So,
Narendra Station is shared between the Federation and the Klingons, it's quite easy to get this type of decoration. So, like, v- uh, do you want a live Targ?
yes,
Okay. All
yes,
right. We can have
in
a
the
live
corner.
targ there.
Hmm.
I mean, it hasn't been delivered yet, but you definitely have it in a cage down in
Hmm.
one of the storage rooms, ready to be brought up when everybody gets there.
Hmm.
Again, because there's a very large targ pit on Narendra Station, didn't take much to get one and bring in for your Klingon night. All right. And that brings us over to Lieutenant Commander Gabriel Martin, who happens to be not having fun in the party yet. He is down in engineering, checking things out. Why don't you give us a little in and out of what you're doing down there, my friend?
All right, yeah, I'm definitely planning on going to the party at some point, but I'll tell you, there's just so much to do on the ship. After the refit, I feel like it's not only is it a brand new ship, but there's a certain problem with brand new ships, and that's that they're not optimized to what we want to do, what I want to do. These graviton systems are powerful, they're awesome, but I can get more out of them. So I'm busily, working with some of my staff to like reconfigure the EPS conduits, tie in various subsystems. I think I'm just wrapping up a level 3 diagnostic of the interplay between the antimatter matter reactor and some of the kind of the connecting just modules to the graviton array. I'm noticing
So
that
as
there's
you're like going through with your tricorder, measuring
Mhm.
power output and synchronicity and all that stuff, or synchronicity, sorry, and all that, one of your ensigns, a young Andorian named Shran, comes up to you with a pad, and he's showing you like the readings that he's taken, and he says, Lieutenant Commander, we've done what we could, and it looks like the power distribution for the graviton arrays is maximizing at 98% efficiency. That's pretty good. We're getting almost complete energy transfer there.
pretty good's not enough, Ensign. I think you probably know this by now. We've been serving together for a few months. I've been running a few calculations on these wave curves. I'd like to see if you can try to fit some of these curve alignments into play with those distribution systems. I'm going to run a few simulations over here on my engineering station. Beep, beep, boop, beep, beep, beep. Lots of beeping. But no, I respect
Sean,
this
by
guy.
the way,
He's-
when you
he's
say
awesome.
that to him, he kind of like he was proud of that 98%, and he's like, "All right, Lieutenant Commander, we'll be back as soon as it's better," and he kind of walks off.
I'll be like, oh wait, before you go,
Yeah.
could you run a diagnostic on the gravimetric not the gravimetric system. I'm noticing that there's a little bit of interplay between the graviton weaponry and our actual gravity-producing plates on deck 14 and 12 of all places.
Never would have thought of that, sir. I'll get right to it as soon as I get this 98% efficiency up. Thank you.
Thank you.
And that brings us over to Vasily of 6, who is in the holodeck testing out his pilot skills. What are you doing in there, my friend?
Yeah, so probably the scene catches Vasily as he is exiting the holodeck and probably talking with whoever has been waiting to use it and sort of having wrapped up a flight simulation challenge, and just like turning off the program, and whoever is waiting probably sees like the bridge of a ship, sort of the con station, kind of everything slowly kind of going dark as he exits.
So you were you practicing piloting an Akira class ship, or were you trying something else?
No, I was using one of the pre-existing piloting simulations. This was Flight Challenge Sulu-34B, which is a favorite of Vasily's. This is the 27th time in the past year that he has done this simulation. He has once again finished in the top 3% of all those who have completed the challenge in the past year. However, to his disappointment, he has once again failed to notice any increase in his adrenaline levels during the simulation, which he has been hoping to achieve.
Yes. Yeah, we'll have to find some other type of simulation to get him get that adrenaline flow going.
Yeah, this was his favorite sort of flying simulation, and it used to give him a real rush before he was assimilated, and he has been having trouble sort of re-experiencing the same emotions as he integrates back into society.
Man, we've got to get a counselor on this ship. We really do. Great. And that brings us to the gym, where Tarjum and Commander Eden Rao are standing armored up around the Anbo ring, getting ready to do some martial arts together. So go ahead and narrate how that scene goes.
Absolutely. I think when we come in, I think we both have the helmets on. The visors are obscuring what we look like. The one figure is wearing a uniform that is mostly red. The other is wearing a uniform that's mostly white. And the one in the red is moving around. He's got the battle staff in a position behind him. He's got his hand out in the front, and he's slowly making a circle around the other. And he says, "Are you ready?"
Of course, sir. Anytime you're ready.
And with that, Adon Rawl is just going to surge forward. He spins the staff in a figure 8, and he comes right at Tarjum's face, trying to set off the sensor.
Go ahead and give me a daring plus security roll, each of you.
Okay.
Okay. Daring and security, that means I have a 15.
2d20.
And an 18.
And a 16.
So I believe that Eden Rao just got a single success. And I believe that Tarjum 16 is a hit. Works for you, right?
I'm sorry, what?
I think a 16 counts as a hit for you, right?
I believe
Security
so.
plus daring. Let's see.
Daring is no, it ends up being 14.
Oh, all right. So you each get one success, which means like you both kind of come together and deflect each other's blows, and then you spin out of the combat, staring each other down again.
Yes.
And at that moment, you get the familiar ding from your badges. In fact, this happens to all of you, and it is the captain. And you basically hear, attention all senior officers, you are needed in my ready room. We have a mission that must happen immediately.
So the figure in the red pulls his helmet
Yeah.
off. It reveals that it's Commander Rawl. He's got a little bit of sweat. His hair's looking messy in a very stylish, thick, handsome way. And he hits his comm badge. Affirmative. Lieutenant Tarjum and I will be there shortly.
Ah, thank goodness I don't have to go eat Klingon tonight.
You don't want to eat any Klingon. I mean, Dr. Rogu got herself a Targ. So I heard.
Like a real Targ?
Yes. Does that still give you indigestion?
I mean, there was
Kinda
just the
slap
one
him on the
time.
stomach.
There was just the. Oh, even thinking about it makes my stomach upset.
Does anybody need to do anything on the way to the captain's ready room?
Do we have time to change out of our Ando uniform or Ambo
No.
uniform? Okay, well then, yeah, we'll go. I'll actually even take the battle staff.
And just because you are, I will as well.
Okay, very good.
So you come into the ready room. It is very, very clean, and the captain is a Bolian named Captain Arlen, and he collects art from lots of different species. So his ready room is very much decorated with lots of different, like you see weird Vulcan art standing right next to Romulan art. And he does have a little conference table there, and he asks you all to sit down. And he says, I'm sorry to call you back after you all just got off your shift, but we just got a message from Narendra Station, and they're asking us to participate or to potentially test our new weapon systems.
Already, sir. I didn't realize that they were fully operational yet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that they're as operational as they can be at this point in time. I know that, down in engineering, they're working on improving that efficiency. However, here's what happened. Apparently, some of our sensor scans deeper in the Shackleton Expanse sent back some information about a comet of unique mineral composition. And Narendra Station has been wanting for a long time to upgrade its teleportation systems, or its transporters, if you will. It's hard to really improve that efficiency, as you might know, Commander Martin. But apparently this comet is made mostly of a mineral known as rubidium. I'm not sure if any of you are familiar with it. This was my first time hearing of it. Apparently it's like a crystalline structure that helps improve matter transfer during transporting. And with the amount of it available from this comet, Narendra Station thinks they could really improve their transporter capabilities. So, our job: fly in the wake of the comet and collect as much of it as we can. And if we can get close enough to maybe try our new weapons to carve some out, that'll be great. I personally think that we should get as much in our ram scoops as possible first, before we, blow it to bits. But that is the mission.
Absolutely, sir. We'll start immediately on it.
It's not a, not a tactical mission per se. I'm sorry about that, but I would like to chase down those Romulans that you guys were dealing with a few days ago. But at Warp 4, we will be there within the hour. So I'm gonna need you all to get freshened up, and we're gonna have to delay the Klingon dinner a little bit, I think.
Okay, we can delay it. Not that long, though.
No, we'll
I
have
don't
it
know.
as soon as this mission's over.
You
I
don't
don't
want the
suspect
Gach
this
to
will
go
take
bad.
No, you really don't want that to go bad.
Well, this is an excellent opportunity for us to dial in our efficiency curve on our new weapons. Some live firing.
I like the way you think,
I was
my
going to
friend,
request
I really do.
I was going to request some time on live firing with these things. So, 2 birds with 1 stone, you say.
And Vasily, this is your chance to show your skills.
Yes, I look forward to flying behind the comet. It is unusual, but we will I believe with the small size of our ship, we will not have any issues staying out of the way of debris.
Well, let's make sure that that's true. All right, so I'll see you all back on the bridge in 45 minutes.
Of course, sir.
Dismissed.
And yeah, I'll take my leave. I'll go. Yeah, I'll go get ready.
Yeah, we'll say you guys leave together. You can have your response discussions as the captain gets back to work on his pad on his desk.
More or less, I'm watching Martin. I'm watching Martin just to see how his reaction is. Like, are you really excited about this, or are you stressing about this?
Normally I'd say like roll me an insight check, but
Right?
Jissa's just gonna say you don't want an answer to that.
it's hard to say. There's always a bit of both, because like everything he's excited about in engineering, but there's also like there's always a lot of line because he's incredibly proud of this ship. I mean, he was holding his tongue, just like, not to mention like only 98%, because nobody else really wants to hear that. But mostly excited.
Well, we've got the new upfittings tuned up already. You've definitely been putting in some overtime on this, Martin. It really shows.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it, sir.
Of course.
I
Vasily,
should have probably mentioned to the captain. I'm sure it's nothing.
What is that?
They're, in theory, I kind of pull out a pad and do some things. There's a small chance that as I was boosting the signal output to the new gravimetric weapons, that there may be just a tiny hiccup somewhere as we accelerate into the higher warp speeds. I'm sure it's nothing.
This mission only calls for warp 4.
Like I said, I'm sure it's nothing.
Is it something that you can work around between now and then?
I've been working on it. I can't tell me, sir. I can't remember how much. How are you at warp field dynamics?
Let's just say that my duties have been more focused elsewhere.
We'll be fine.
I'm
Just if something happens, it's not going to be anything painful or damaging to the ship. But it's all theoretical at this point.
And as
really,
he says that,
until it happens, I'm not going to be able to do anything about it until I see what it is.
As he finishes that sentence, you all feel like your stomach lift up in your guts for a second and then shift back down, as though you like just got to the top of a roller coaster, and then sunk back down into your seats, and feel a little bit off, like you feel like, whoa, what was that?
Instantly, I'm just like, Tron, was that what I thought it was?
Yes, sir. Once we accelerated past warp 3.1.
Okay. Well, anyway, sir.
A little
That's
hiccup
what I was
was
talking
apparently literal. The ship had a hiccup.
Truly a little hiccup. Because we are using graviton emitters, our gravimetric plating is having a certain interplay as the warp field waves kind of progress over 9.6 kilowatts, which basically correlates to, I was going to guess, warp 3.125, but apparently it's just warp 3.1. where we will experience something to the effect of 1 microsecond of zero gravity on the ship.
Well, here we are at
If
my
you-
quarters. I'm glad that you have this under control, Lieutenant Commander. I will see you all on the bridge, and I will go into the room.
As I walk away, I
If-
mutter, I'm going to go call my mom just in case.
I'll be like, Lieutenant, just remember, this means that our weapons are way more powerful than they have any right to be.
I'm looking forward to that, as long as we survive.
We will.
So we can push this along. I did show you all, and if you want to put this up, Jeremy, the roll 20 of what our bridge looks like. This is pretty much the layout that I was thinking. Again, as I said to everyone, we're going to assume that there are ensigns, supporting cast members at all these other stations where nobody is sitting. I do imagine that some of these seats will fill up as we move into future episodes. So for now, this is what the bridge is going to look like. On the right, where we have the Federation of Planets logo, this is going to be our momentum threat ticker. Because there's 5 of you, I start with 10 threat. You guys have 0 momentum currently. On the left, you'll see the picture of our ship, and we're going to treat this just like a token. In the red, that number 12, that is how many shields the ship has. And the number 9 is how much power that the ship has. These don't really become relevant unless you get into some type of space encounter, combat encounter, etc., etc. The moment you go into yellow alert status, shields automatically raise. So otherwise, it's just a minor action to raise shields. So we're going to assume that as you are all coming into where the comet is located, you are going to be at full power and at full shields. So that's how it's going to work.
Excellent.
So, in a relatively short amount of time, you are all on the bridge, and then you are approaching the system in which this comet is moving. Would anyone like to take some scans to see if they can find out any further information about this comet? Because again, the initial scans were from far away. The closer you get, the more information you can usually get, etc., etc.
How is our
I'd
distance
absolutely
holding?
like to.
What was
Oh,
that?
go ahead.
No, I would
Kevin, what were
absolutely
you-
like
what
to
were
do
you saying?
some scans, but yes, go ahead.
Oh,
What were you saying?
I apologize for I will look at Vasily and I'll say, Lieutenant, if you could perhaps, how is our distance to the comet? Are we closing in?
We are maintaining a safe far distance from the comet. If you would like me to approach within a tighter range, I can bring us about.
Lieutenant Commander, I'll turn towards Gabriel Martin. How is our scanning range? Do we have enough on sensor sweeps to be able to pick it up?
It should come into visual range.
Hold steady, Mr. Vasily, please.
Holding.
I'll go ahead and put it on screen. And I assume that since our doctor is probably our actual scientist for now, should she be the sensor taker person? Or, as some would say, sensors.
That's up to you all.
Yeah, Doctor, go right ahead. I believe your suggestion to make some sweeps would be a good idea.
So a sensor sweep this close would be a reason plus science task with a difficulty of 0. This is a chance for you to generate some momentum, ask some questions, etc., etc.
And is it 1d20 or 2?
2d20 for every
2d20.
task,
Okay,
and you can buy more eventually.
gotcha. So my reason is 10 and my science is 4. So I've got 14 and a 17 from the roll.
So you got 2 successes. So You currently have 2 momentum. Before we add that momentum to the bank, let's talk a little bit about this comet. This comet is 75% the mass of Earth's moon, and about 75% the size as well. It's a very large comet, and it's there's a lot of ice coming off of it, and lots of other trace minerals that seem to be coming off of it as well. The big thing that you notice with this scan is that, unlike comets that you typically record or register in, that has been observed by any of the species in the Federation, this particular comet has a much greater percentage rock than ice, whereas usually it's more ice than rock. So that's just an interesting difference. So you have 2 momentum. Would you like to ask any questions with that momentum? Would you like to bank it, or would you like to find out some more information?
I'd like to find out some more information.
You'd like to find out some more information. Okay. So would you like to spend 1 momentum to learn one
Yeah,
bit of
I'd like to
information, and then
spend
bank the
one
other?
and yeah, yes.
All right. Well,
please.
before we bank the other, let's see if this brings up a question. You are detecting that near the comet, like way up near the comet's body, you are detecting a structure, maybe a ship. Not actually on the comet itself, but very close to it.
All right. I'm, going to make sure that everybody around me knows what I detected, and if they've got any questions about that, I'm
You
going
have
to
1
let everybody.
momentum hanging. You can bank it, or you can ask 1 more question.
I'm going to bank it.
Okay.
I'm just going to let everybody know so we can discuss.
Sir, would you like me to raise shields?
Yes. Let's go to yellow alert. Maybe we can get a better scan of whatever that structure is if we, get right into the tail there. I don't see how that will necessarily hinder our mission currently, but as we gain more information, we can react accordingly.
Will I get us closer?
Yeah, why don't you take us? Let's get the Broussard ram scoops running, and set for rubidium. And what if, Vasily, you take us 1 pass through the tail? Let's stay at like 500,000 kilometers from the nucleus of the comet.
Right away. And I begin to set that course. Boop, boop, boop.
So are you just gonna go headlong in? You're gonna try to ease your way in? What would you like to do here?
Vasily is very defensively minded, so he's gonna take the safe route unless otherwise implored to do so.
So I will let you decide. Do you want to do control plus con, or do you want to do insight plus con? This is going to be a difficulty 2 task.
Probably control con. Yeah, they're the same scores for me, so.
Oh, awesome.
Would my focus? Well, I have focus in helm operations or defensive tactics, so.
I think defensive tactics, based off of the fact that you're rolling control, would probably work best.
Okay.
You're trying to avoid stuff smashing into the ship.
Okay. And would my neural interface talent apply here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. That gives me an extra D20, so that'll be 3 with a focus. let's do that.
Yeah, you're plugged into the computer here.
Okay. So 17, 5, and 8. So the 17 won't hit. The other two are both successes.
Is your con a 5?
My con is a 5, so the 5
That's a
would
crit,
be
so that's 3 successes.
So 3 successes. Excellent.
So you're generating 1 momentum there. All right, I'm going to go ahead, add that momentum to the bank, so you guys are now up to 2. I'm also just going to spend, I don't know, 3 threat on the way in, just to have a couple of glancing blows hit the side of the ship. On the way in. Which deal no damage at all. So yeah, you navigate yourself right. You get into the comet's trail. You avoid a couple of big chunks on the way in, and those few, not really small chunks, but like a little bit larger that could have potentially hit the ship. You kind of dodge those as well on your way in. Nicely done. But once you get about halfway through the tail, something kind of shocking happens. The ship just stops.
Is this like a sudden, forceful, everyone goes rolling stop, or just?
I mean, you have, if you didn't have inertial dampeners, yes. But yeah, you so you get about halfway through the tail, and you're starting to get some of these crystals into your ram scoops, and then you're like, almost like you hit a brick wall, or you got stuck in the mud, or something. Impulse engines are working fine, but you are not moving anywhere.
Captain,
Lieutenant Tarkin, are we in a tractor beam of some sort?
And the captain says, get me as many scans as you can of what's happening here.
Sit forward of my seat.
Some sensor sweeps, or maybe I'll initiate some from my end.
Yeah, you can do let's do insight plus engineering.
Okay.
Arjev, if you want to do an insight plus security, you can do that as well.
Plus 14.
While they're doing that, could I take a look for the other ship and see if I can recognize it?
Yeah, I think you'll get more information on that right now during this roll, for sure.
Okay,
So
roll a 12 and a 1.
Oh, a 12 and a 1. That's 3 successes, right?
Mhm.
So 3 successes on engineering. So let's start with Gabriel Martin. So yes.
Cool.
So
Also, I forgot to mention, I do have a focus in starship recognition.
awesome.
So should I roll
So
another?
I'll pull something up on the view screen in just a moment to show you what you have found. But the other weird thing that you are detecting, that is something that is very obscure and doesn't make sense, is you are detecting gluons. Are you familiar with what gluons are? They're basically like a fundamental particle that holds quarks together. Basically responsible for the strong nuclear force. And as you are detecting those, you can actually plot a trail all the way directly to the comet.
Interesting. I will go ahead and relay that to the captain and the rest of the crew.
And Parjev, with your help, first of all, you guys are going to get more momentum. Parjev, with your help, I'm going to pull you guys over to... Let's see if this works. On roll 20, I have an on-screen. Did you guys get transferred over to an on-screen image? Or do I have to drag you each independently? Let's see how we're working tonight.
I am seeing it.
I'm seeing it as well.
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
This appears to be a Romulan shuttle. Very similar to the one that you guys saw on your away mission.
Well, I'll turn to the captain. Do you think that they perhaps are after this comet for the same reasons we are?
I mean, it's entirely possible. This is a rare find. It would make sense that any number of factions that find it or detect it would want to try to harvest it.
If you could, Mr. Martin, could you tell us, is the other ship, the Romulan ship, is it caught in the gluons as well? Or is there something else afoot here?
That is kind of what I could tell, right? Is it like it's connected by the gluons to the comet? Is that what I was reading?
So your ship is connected to the comet via this gluon stream. I can, for one more momentum, I can tell you about.
Let's go ahead and spend that extra momentum.
Yeah, they are as well. Same deal.
If I didn't know better, I would say that we are somehow bonded to this comet as if we were like a particle itself. This is truly bizarre, Captain.
Very well. See if you can open a hail to the Romulan shuttle. And the operations officer who's in that empty seat starts and he says, hail is open, sir. And nobody is responding. Captain sits back in his chair and he's very interested and intrigued. I need ideas. What do you think is going on here? What can we do?
Dr. Rogu, are there any life signs on that ship?
Let's go ahead and find out. I'd like to go ahead and roll to see if we can find life signs.
All right, I'll let you do an reason plus medicine.
Okay. And
4
we've
successes.
Yeah. Reason 10, medicine 5.
There are 6 Romulan life signs on that ship. Would you like any further information?
All right. Yes, I would. I'd like to see if they're alive.
So you detect that the life signs are faint. Yeah, the life signs are faint. Like they aren't dead yet.
All right. Well, I think this might be a mission of actually retrieval and saving their lives. Maybe this is a good opportunity for diplomacy.
I don't think we're gonna do any saving if we're stuck in this glue-on stuff. Is there somewhere I can shoot it to break us free?
As you say that, the ship gets bombarded by a blast of some sort. Let's see. Whew. Okay. So the ship gets hit. The shields get knocked down just a bit. And I'm gonna spend 2 threat. Have the captain's console explode in his face with stuff. And the ship just got hit by a blast of something. And because you're all conducting your own particular scans, you would guess that this was a burst of protons that came from the comet.
Red alert.
Wow. Yeah.
So a lot of things are
runs
happening all
over.
at once here. The captain his face has been burned by these by his console exploding, and Jissa, when these protons hit the ship, you weren't terrified for a moment because you got this overwhelming sense of fear and dread
Wow, I wasn't worried for a moment because I'm getting a sense of fear and dread from
Yes.
the crew, from the comet.
If you
Oh
didn't
boy.
if you
Uh,
didn't know better, you would say you're getting a sense of fear and dread from the comet.
all right. All right. Possibly a being. Possibly a being that needs saving. Hmm? Um,
And you definitely have a
I
captain that needs saving right here.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just gonna
Yes.
say,
Jissa would like to run over to the captain and immediately, some type of spray, see if we can't dig in that magical medical bag for some dermal
You, you,
enhancement.
you think an emergency transport to the sick bay would be
Okay.
most beneficial?
yeah. After I called out for red alert, I stand up. I go. I help her get the captain situated off of the chair. I step back to make sure there's not anything else that's gonna blow up on it. I look up at the bridge, and I will, while she's seeing to him, we need an emergency transport to sick bay, please.
And he gets beamed out of there.
And then I'm gonna stand up and turn. What are we dealing with? Where did that come from? I need a full sensor sweep, please. Need to know if there's another ship in the direct area immediately.
As far as I can tell, Commander, that came directly from the comet itself.
Comet itself.
It was a directed proton burst. Shields are down to what percentage?
You've lost 2 shields, that's all.
Two
good.
shields. Okay.
Lieutenant
Can
Tarjum, could
I
you
attempt
perhaps...
to regenerate? Oh, sorry.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
go ahead.
we'll assume that as the scenes move on, that'll continue to regenerate.
Lieutenant Tarjum, could you perhaps figure out the trajectory of that shot to let us know where exactly that came from?
Can I
what
do that?
part of the comet might have actually lanced that out?
Yeah, I think if you had to guess, it was directly in your path. Like it was. In fact, as you're looking, it's almost like it seeked you out. Like the protons seeked out your ship.
Did it seem to be pretty head on then?
Yes.
Can we enhance sector over there on the finder and see if there's some kind of weapons or structures? Did you scan the comet for life? Did anyone scan for weapons?
Nobody's done that yet.
Can I
would
do
now
that?
scan for life.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can scan. You can make an additional scan if you want.
sure. Control security?
Let's do reason security.
Reason security. All right. 8 and 5, 13. Nothing, but there's some
Ooh.
free.
All right, I see a 17 and a 20 there. You got any rerolls?
No.
We got plenty of momentum if you want to reroll.
Yeah.
Sure.
So you want to let's see. Momentum can only be used to reroll damage, I believe.
Oh, gotcha.
Yep.
And we haven't taken that yet, so yet.
Here's what happens. You are hit. Your ship is now hit by polarons. So let me deal this here. One, 2, 3. Okay, reduced. We lose 3 more shields. And when the polarons wash over, Dissa, you get the feeling of curiosity.
make sure to let everybody know what I'm feeling, like kind of a little bit more dramatic. Like I'm feeling from the comet dread and curiosity. Like before it was dread and now it's curiosity. I think we might be dealing with something a little bit more than just the comet.
Are you saying that
Tarjum,
there's
you
a...
detected no weapons on the
Okay.
on the
What was,
comet.
and
Are
there's
you,
no weapons. Okay.
are you saying that there's a life form in the comet? Can we hail it?
Either maybe the comet is the life form, or yes, maybe there is an entity inside the comet. We're gonna have to find this out. I don't know.
Sir, I believe we need to break free and move away from this comet.
Lieutenant Commander Martin, what sort of extra power could you supply to the Massage to get us out of here?
You know what? There are several subsystems I can reroute to the engines to try to break us free. Let me free. Let me work on that now.
If I may,
Yeah,
Vasily?
this may not be a matter of raw power. If we're being held by the gluons, it may be a matter of what kind of propulsion can move through gluons. Maybe a matter of changing our method of propulsion.
Or can we modulate our shields to repel ourselves from it?
But the manner of energy that we're being hit with seems to be rotating, not dissimilar to the way that Borg shield frequencies rotate, only the damage seems to be different each time.
The one catch of that is the gluons are a continuous stream. They have not stopped.
Interesting. Well, we either need to get out of the path or we need to somehow forge a way through the path and get out of the direct attack route. What are our chances, do you think, Lieutenant Commander, for actually punching our way out of here?
That's a good question. I was going to suggest, I wonder if there's a way that I could rig up some, either the deflector array or our shields to emit anti-gluons in an attempt to sort of neutralize this beam towards. Is that something that I could do?
One of the ensigns who's working at one of the consoles next to you happens to have a little bit of particle physics and knows that anti-gluons have the same properties as gluons. In this case, they do not cancel each other out. They appear as the same.
So
it'd
we
be
do
like
need to figure out a way to
particle.
block them
Yes, if we
or
try to
break
add
free.
more
Let's
to
try
the
raw
energy.
power first. I like your suggestion, Vasily, but let's give it a shot before we. Let's just see if we can break free first.
As you wish.
Take us out of here.
So, how are you going to try to break free?
I'm going to boost as much power as I can to the engines from other subsystems that aren't crucial right now.
The impulse engines?
Yes, that's we're at impulse right now, right? Yes, I'm going to try the impulse.
You're going to go full impulse?
Full impulse.
So in other words, Vasily, he wants you to gun it. Pedal to the metal.
I sit down in the captain's seat and brace myself.
As you wish.
Right, so this is, we'll call this, so this is going to be difficulty 4. And this is going to have to be daring plus con.
Okay. Daring con, that's fine. And Helm operations.
Yep.
Focus. I get my extra D20. I'd like to buy another D20 with momentum if we have enough. We have enough.
That's what we do, yeah,
We do.
absolutely.
So that'll give me 4. And I have cautious con.
You'll get a reroll.
I'll get a reroll on that.
Excellent.
We're looking for
Am
4.
I able to assist at all?
What was that?
Am I able to assist at all?
So there is a task called direct, but I don't think that necessarily applies here.
Okay.
don't have it pulled up immediately. Let's say just let him gun it for right now.
Okay. Should I buy a second momentum die? What do you guys think?
You could put yourself up to a full hand if you'd like.
Yes?
Do it.
Okay, so I'll be rolling 5 then. My daring plus con is 17.
Yes.
Nice.
That is 2, 4, 6, 7 successes.
7 successes. All right. So we're gonna put 3 momentum back in here. Back up to 6. So what ends up happening is, yes, the ship does start to move, and as it starts to move, like you're not moving at full impulse. As it starts to move its way through the tail, a wave of electrons wash over the ship. Which drains some shields. I'm sorry, it drains some power. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 power is drained from the ship. Bringing you down to 2.
Oh boy.
And you get about, I don't know, you're like very close to getting out of the tail, and another stream of gluons attaches to you. Now, when the electrons wash over the ship, Adela, you got a very strong feeling of anger.
Feeling anger. Everybody, I'm feeling anger. I think we are angering this comet. Now, is there a way that I can try and go deeper and figure out if this is actually a life form in the comet or the comet itself? Is that something I could attempt?
I do believe you have a focus in other life forms, right?
Alien biology, diplomacy,
Alien biology,
and
so yeah.
genetics.
So let's do a scan. We'll do insight plus medicine with your with that focus.
All right, so I've got 11 for insight. Medicine is 5.
All right, so you're gonna get
21.
2 successes here, which is great. So your scan, as you scan the comet, you get a feeling of, you get information that seems to show a shifting of materials within the comet itself that looks similar to the metabolism of some silicon-based life forms that you've studied.
Ooh. I would like to know more.
What would you like to ask?
If we can talk. So if they're open to talking. So
you're not telepathic, but you do have a feeling that they have been talking to you, if there is something there.
Okay. I'm going to relay this. I feel like they're trying to communicate, everyone. Let's figure out what they're trying to say.
The
I'm
comet.
going to look around. Mm-hmm.
What did you say what did they hit us with when you felt curiosity?
Polarons.
What if I may make a suggestion, why don't we hit them with a very mild dose of Polaron? One that if we were hit the same way in return would not harm us.
Give them a little bit of a kiss back. Might not be a bad idea. First,
I can
before we
make
do
that
that, if
happen.
you could, Lieutenant Commander, can you give me a status report?
Power is down throughout the ship, sir. We're running on just about 20% power here. I do have my crews working on it at the moment. Hopefully we'll have things up and running here soon. But whatever that electron wave was, severely drained our reserves. I'm going to go ahead and activate some auxiliary power.
Very good. The Polaron blast. What sort of amounts can we spare with our depleted power source?
Well, the good news is we can only do a mild dose towards them.
And if you look, I believe, so this is where we can start looking at some of the stuff that the bridge can do, right? So on page 220, in your core rule book, there are tasks that can be done. So if we look at engineering, which I believe is page
224.
224. Does not have the task there.
Well, and if I look at the internal systems,
power management, it's
also
under internal systems on 224.
Okay.
So the officer reroutes power from various systems. This requires a daring or control plus engineering task with difficulty 2. You gain 1 point of power if you're successful, plus 1 additional power per momentum spent. So if you want to be able to send Polarons at this thing, it is going to require 1 power to do.
Oh boy. How do we regenerate power? Is that a thing that can regenerate, or is that after the scene?
Well, that is the power management task.
Oh,
on
that
page
is the thing.
224.
Okay. Oh, replenishing reserves. I got you. I was reading past that first part. Okay, then I'm going to try to regenerate some power.
Okay.
Just so I'm not expending the last of our reserves on a Polaron beam.
So in this case, it would probably be control plus engineering, right? You are not in, combat. It is not a stress. Well, I mean, it's a stressful situation, but not in the fact where you have to throw caution to the wind, right?
Yeah, no problem. And my control is 11, engineering is 5, so.
And you must have a focus in power.
And I do indeed have a focus in.
So that's 3 successes.
Power systems. Cool.
So you gain 1 power back, which brings you up to 3. You have 1 momentum floating. Do you want to put that into power as well?
Yes. Let's go ahead and do that.
That brings your power up to 4. Do you want to spend any other additional momentum? Bring your power up any higher. And one thing about this game, you can go above your starting power as well, which is cool.
Also, I'm trying to remember what would a crit be for me if I was if I have 5 engineering.
So if you have a focus in power management, which you said you did, right?
Which I do, yeah.
Then that 4 generates 2 successes.
Oh, perfect. Okay, cool.
And then the 11 generates 1 success. So you got 3 successes total on a difficulty 2 task. So the difficulty 2 task gave you 1 power. That additional momentum that was floating gave you an additional power. And now you have 6 momentum in the pool if you want to keep adding to your power.
I think we probably should bring our power back up because that was a pretty big blow.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and add 2 more power to it. That's good,
Okay.
you guys.
Because this is your role, I'm going to have you make the final decisions on things like that, but I think that works.
Okay.
And you know that it was the electrons that sapped your power, so maybe you don't want to make this thing angry again.
That's right.
So now you have power to potentially emit a stream if you would like.
I think we should, we should emit a nice, gentle stream through our forward deflector array. And try
Polarons.
of Polarons.
All right.
Could
Commander,
we do
you good with that?
anything? Sorry, could we do anything to prepare to receive Polarons just in case its love tap is stronger than ours?
Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to try adjusting your shields, I mean, that's definitely something that you could attempt.
Okay,
I like it.
that's actually probably a really good idea to
Can't really do
Crossbows.
defensive maneuvering right now because you're trapped with the gluons, but you want to like try to modulate your shields to adapt to that particular.
Lieutenant
Class.
Tarjum, add additional shields onto the trajectory where we just got hit from last time, if you could.
Will do,
So
sir.
Tarjum, give me an insight plus security. It's a difficulty 2.
One success, I think.
So would you like to succeed at a cost?
I think I would.
So I'll go ahead and take 2 threat for that. And your shields are now going to grant you more resistance against polarons.
Excellent.
All right, Commander, you give the order. You let me know when you, if this is what you want to do. And
Lieutenant Commander, start us off at the impulse of that's 10% of the polarons that you typically could give out with the amount of bursts that you have. Let's ease into this.
Aye, sir, are easing into it.
so the deflector emits a blast of polarons directed at the comet, and as it's traveling to the comet, are you guys going to do anything else as far as that Romulan shuttle goes?
My intention was in a moment to start focusing on that. I want to make sure that we are safe, though. Our first priority, I think, should be to Our Lady, to the ship. So I'm focusing on trying to get us through this right now. But I think definitely we want to look into that, especially if these people are almost dead. That's all
Right.
going on
But
internally right now.
from a distance.
Are there
Polarons
shields?
collide with the comet, and like almost immediately, a blast of tachyons launch out from its surface, and as you are watching this on the screen, the tachyon stream is like spinning and doing loops as it heads towards the ship. It washes over the ship, doing no damage, and Adela, you get the sense of joy and happiness.
Aw. I'm feeling happy and joyfulness. I think what we've done has worked.
Sir.
I would like to try. I mean, we need to communicate. I mean, we need to get something from this comet. We've got to make sure it's okay. That we take particles, that we examine it.
Sir, permission to speak freely?
Please.
Knowing the Romulans, they've probably, put themselves in this situation. And I can't believe I'm going to say this, but maybe we should try and contact them and let them know how to not piss it off.
We've already tried hailing the ship. Do you mean the Romulans back at the planet where we were at recently?
They didn't respond to hails initially.
Right, but we could send out a message. Doesn't mean they have to respond back.
Were the Romulans' shields up when we encountered them, or are they like pretty much dead in the water?
Their shields were down.
Are we in beaming distance? Could we just...
That was my next thing I was going to
Transport
ask you.
Yes.
Now let's not get hasty.
To the brig.
Yeah. Doctor, do you believe that you have enough room in the sickbay for the number of presences that you felt?
Ooh, that's a good question. Yes, I believe I have enough room. I can take care of them. Though I didn't think anyone wanted to previously, but I'm happy to take care of them.
I'll let security know to send a team to the medical bay to watch our new guests
Very well.
should they arrive.
So Gabriel, you would know that this is like, if you want to beam those 6 bodies through a comet's trail that is randomly emitting
I was just
weird
about to ask that.
subatomic
Is it
particles.
safe to do that?
This is going to be a very challenging task, so I don't know if you want to run to engineering to take care of it yourself, or how you'd like to manage that.
If we do think that it's worth it, I mean, maybe I should scan that ship one more time and see, like, are their life support systems failing? Is it life or death that they need to come over right now?
So I think logically, you would be able to piece together that they've been here longer than you. This thing has already took out your shields, took out your power. Maybe the same thing happened to them.
Would it be easier to transport them if we freed ourselves first and went out of the comet's trail?
Potentially.
Or do you think the comet would let us get in close if we could figure out how to tell it we mean no harm?
Where's our science officer?
That's next month.
Right?
Well, I'm not entirely interested in trying to succumb the ship to the will of a stray cat that we've come across. So let's do this. Let's go ahead. Let's let the Romulans sit for a moment. I believe we need to figure out how to deal with the comet to get us out of here, to get us safe. Once we are safe, I think we'll have a little more time to do this. I agree with you, Tarzan, and I appreciate the insight.
Are you
Mr.
going to
Vasily,
send what you've learned so far to them?
over to them? Is that what you're asking?
Somebody recommended that, I think, right?
I just recommended
I-
sending it to them. Rather, I mean, it doesn't matter if they didn't. They could still be hearing us and just can't respond.
Yes, Mr. Vasily, if you could send them another message letting them know what we've discovered about the comet. Give them a fighting chance if they need one. Don't give them any sort of other information, though, just in case.
Sending message. Question. When the tachyons were coming towards us, they were described as spinning. Did it look like potentially like a ship's flight path?
No, if you let's see. If you had to guess, this was maybe some way of trying to communicate something.
You know,
Did pattern for which the tachyons arrived. I wonder if I should try to reverse it back at them. Same pattern,
That
but this
seems
time tachyons instead of polarons.
that seems logical for establishing contact with a new life form.
Let's try it at the same output that you did the first time, if we could. And I'm gonna be this entire time. I'm gonna turn. I'm gonna look out of the view. I'm looking at the area specifically, but I'm kind of getting ready to ask the doctor if there's any changes. I'm ready to have any sort of reaction if she suddenly starts. I don't know. She falls down, and starts screaming, holding her head, or something crazy.
sir, completely random
plan.
thought.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
If this works, if what we're about to try here makes things better, what if we, as you said earlier, gently kiss the Romulans as well? Maybe we'd be informing this entity that they are all right.
Well, it would seem that the Trill are into some strange bedroom activities, but no, I think let's take on one kiss at a time if we could.
I mean afterwards, sir, not at the same time. That would be awkward.
Thank you for the clarification. Please go ahead, Mr. Martin.
Now, Mr. Martin, are you just going to emit a regular stream of tachyons, or are you going to try
I'm going to
mimic-
try to program in, because I basically recorded what they did. I'm going to attempt to send it back in the same pattern, like the same pulses, the same
So that
and I
that will be more difficult than just sending a regular pulse.
understood.
All right, so this is going to be difficulty 5, insight plus engineering.
Ooh, okay. And I'm not seeing that I have any awesome focuses that are going to totally help me with that.
It's going to cost you 1 power, so you're down to 4 power.
Now, Al, we can't use our focuses for somebody else.
There are some role abilities that allow that to happen, like mostly at the admiralty level.
Sure. Okay.
I can't think of any other talents right away that allow you.
And we
to
don't
do
have
that.
I mean, would our communications officer? Do we even have one right now?
So communication officer role would reduce the difficulty of trying to understand this language. Is basically how it would work.
Gotcha.
Right.
If I were to take all this from main engineering, would I get any sort of boost?
No, because you're trying to figure out how to mimic a path of tachyons that
Gotcha.
is unnatural. That you know what I mean. That you have no control over really.
And don't forget
You're
you
gonna
do
try
have
to
a,
you're gonna try to play with subspace in such a way with your tachyons that it mimics.
Right.
don't forget you have your determination point.
Oh, that is actually good. I think I might have to. Well, I guess I'll
And
just
you have a
roll
full
and see
bank
how I start doing, right?
of momentum too. I think right.
We got a lot of momentum.
You got 4.
And this is
yeah.
pretty important, right, guys?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of the moment of deciding whether we are going to dinner later or if we're going to be dinner later. I feel like.
It's an important distinction, I think. I
Right.
agree. Yeah.
I'm going to try to also just make this a gentle enough stream of tachyons that even if I don't get the pattern right, it's not going to come across as offensive, if that makes sense.
Well, tachyons showed happiness, if you remember correctly.
Right.
But it's the
But
difference
still.
between this and this.
Yep.
You never know. I'm going to whisper it, not shout it. Put it that way.
Excellent.
Okay, so I think I just got 2 d20 here, right?
Yeah, you start with 2d20. What would you like to do beyond that?
Well, let's see. So, and I guess you didn't tell me what I need to roll. Engineering plus
Insight.
insight? Okay. Well, those are definitely both successes. 3 and a 5.
It's difficulty 5, though. So did you want to add
So
any
I've
other
only
dice to
got 2, so yes, I'm definitely going to add.
that? Technically, you're supposed to say that before you roll the dice, but I'll let you go back.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Remind us,
I'm
what
gonna-
does determination do?
So determination can add a die to your pool that is assumed to have rolled a 1, which is 2 successes.
Okay, I'm going to use the determination. I'm going to spend 2 more momentum.
So before you spend the determination, do you have a value that kind of comes into play here?
Mhm.
That you can either celebrate or challenge.
If someone asks for your help, you help. Job worth doing is worth doing right. Family's everything. And my fellow crew and family. Any problem can be solved with enough determination and teamwork.
Oh, there you go.
I love that.
Let's do
So-
that one.
Okay.
Speaking of determination and teamwork, I would like to, when he uses that determination, I would like to use my executive officer talent to burn 3 momentum, and he gets to keep the determination point.
Oh, that's
spend it.
awesome.
He gets
Cool.
the benefit of it, but he doesn't have to spend it. He gets it back, basically.
So that
Okay.
So you said now do you want to buy any additional dice?
Well, I think that might have taken away the dice I might have needed, though.
No. Well, you can always add to threat too.
Okay.
Get dice.
Well, I'll keep my determination. So I got 1, so we're at 3 now. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and roll 2 dice. So I'm going to
So you're gonna
Spend
add
1.
You're gonna add 2 more dice to the roll.
Yep, because I need to get up to 5, right?
All right. So we'll put this down at 0, and then we'll put this. So your first dice. So I need to add 4 here. All right. Roll away.
Well, one more
Ah,
success,
yes.
and it's
Oh, you got your
extraordinary
fifth.
complication.
You did
Okay.
get your 5th success.
Excellent.
So you send this wave of tachyons, and we're gonna say that little 20 that you rolled, which is bad in this game, you weren't able to mimic the swirling nature of the tachyons. Maybe it started to swirl and then just kind of petered out, and collided with the comet, and then oh, what the heck, a wave of neutrons come shooting out and wash over the ship, causing no damage at all. However, Adela, you get a new sensation. Entertained.
Doctor.
That's amazing.
You get the sense that this thing might be laughing.
Oh,
Good thing.
well, everybody, I think this comet found that really funny, very entertaining. Kapla, some might say.
Maybe we are on a date.
I'm glad I
Okay,
showered.
okay.
And after that happens, you have an incoming message.
From?
The Romulan shuttle.
Put it through, please.
And you see a Romulan who is looks to be a sub commander. You see blotches all over their face, which Adela can immediately identify as radiation burns, and definitely looks exhausted. You can even see like one or two Romulans behind them, kind of like slumped over in their chairs. You have figured out how to communicate.
Romulan shuttle, this is Commander Adon Rawl of the USS Ginsberg. We are here to help if we can. What has happened to your ship?
The comet attacked us. We are unable to leave. Our shields are down. We are without power. Life support is failing. We are succumbing to radiation poisoning.
We have medical facilities aboard our ship. We'd be more than happy to extend to you if we're able to get to you. How much time do your arrays say that you have left?
57 minutes.
Well, we will do whatever we can to make sure that we get you out of this. We're lucky that we came along to help. In the meantime, subvert all power that you have to your life support, and we will keep in contact with you if you're able to keep this frequency open.
Thank you.
Of course.
The video cuts out.
Okay, so our timeline has moved up a little bit. We have 54 minutes before we are out of time. Options. You're muted, man.
Character question here.
Yes.
Are we at war with the Romulans at this point in time?
No.
This is post-Dominion War, just kind of back to neutral.
They're just being their shady selves.
Just being Romulans. No.
They're so angry.
Adela, you've treated radiation sickness and burns in the past.
Yes. Yes, I have. Though I feel I would need to have them on board to treat them properly. Unless someone wants to beam down with me. I mean, we can take care of them on their own ship, or we could try and just get their ship off of
Could we get a
heavy
shuttle
tractor
over there?
beam or-
Well, if we beam you over, if their hull is damaged in any way, you could perhaps be exposed to the radiation yourself.
Mhm, mhm.
Is there any way to do a scan of their structure to tell if they have that problem going on right now?
You assume that they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, based off the burns and the sickness. Yeah.
Could we rig a shuttle to essentially emit happy feelings? I don't know how else to explain this. As we leave the Ginsberg and go over and get them.
I mean, we could go over there and have their ship emit happy feelings and see if somehow that helps the ship. I don't know.
I mean, we've sent happy thoughts its way, and we're still stuck technically, even though it's not attacking us. But they don't have much time, is what I'm saying. We likely will last longer than they will.
Why don't we ask it to give us permission to move?
I like this. What sort of remind me, what sort of rays were emitted when you felt threatened before from it?
Protons.
What's that? Those protons.
Okay, so if we send out emissions that suggest subjugation, submitting to it, maybe that we feel like we are inferior to it, it will perhaps watch over us.
Adela, now that you're starting to like get a feel for this, like this is a whole new mind situation that you've never really experienced before. There are currently no, I mean, the gluons still have you attached to the comet, but there are no other particles washing over at all, and you do feel like a faint, like lingering sadness and fear coming from the comet itself, even when the particles aren't being emitted.
Sure. Can I tell if that sadness is like loneliness sadness?
Hard to tell.
Okay.
But it might have something to do with why it's got you here.
Right. It wants friends.
We should
Maybe.
let it pet the Targ.
Commander,
Do we throw the Targ out?
Just roll down the
What's
What's
window.
with that? That's terrible. That's terrible.
we should just beam the Targ to the comet. That's obviously is the solution.
That's him.
It just wants a cat.
Celia, what was the other thing you were going to say?
Commander, perhaps we should ask the Romulans what they attempted to do here. Perhaps that was what caused its sadness.
Yes, that's great.
If you could, please open a frequency.
Oop.
The commander looks even more exhausted, even though you just talked to him like a minute and a half ago.
Yeah. And I apologize, Al. Did this lower commander that you mentioned, did he give me his name?
Did not.
Okay. Commander, this is Commander Rawl once again. We wanted to make an inquiry as to what exactly it was that you did to the comet to try to get yourselves free.
We tried our impulse engines. We tried going to warp. Each time it bombarded us with different subatomic particles. It looks like similar to the ones that you were bombarded by.
And which of these particles specifically was the one that came during or slightly before the time it had caused the damage to your vessel?
The polarons that you said was part of Curiosity.
Interesting.
When we were damaged, we did try to attack it once, and that didn't go well.
Understood.
I feel like there's a life lesson there.
Thank you for the update. I'll kind of just give him a look. Thank you for the update, Commander. Rest assured, we are working at our full capacity to make sure you are safe. We will be in contact.
Vasily, do me a favor. Give me, let's do Insight plus Con, difficulty 2.
Okay.
And we'll allow the ship to assist you. The ship's computers will assist you with this.
And what is it that I'm trying to figure out?
You are looking at your flight path, and potentially the Romulan flight path, and seeing how things all connect together.
Okay. So insight and con, you said?
Yes.
Okay. Astronavigation focus?
Absolutely.
Okay. So insight con would be 13. And what's our momentum status? I will buy a die with momentum.
Sounds good.
And
3 dice.
that'll let me use cautious. All right. And I will reroll the 17.
Oh,
Okay.
awesome.
So that is 2, 4, 5 successes.
Nice.
You would technically be assisted by the ship's computers plus, computers plus con as well.
Okay. I'll just roll a d20 here.
See what it looks like.
And I can reroll the ships.
You can, because your
Success.
interface. That's
So
enough.
that'll be also a success.
So as you are looking at your trajectories together, you also begin mapping the comet's trajectory.
Okay.
And you notice that as this thing goes around the sun, it's going to pass by 2 planets on its way past the sun, and then on its next journey, those 2 planets are going to tweak its trajectory just enough that on its next journey around the sun, it's going to fly right into the sun.
Commander, the comet's trajectory shows that if it were to maintain its current course for 2 more cycles, it would fly into the sun. Perhaps it wishes to avoid this, but is unable to?
Let's pause right there for a break.
Ooh. All right.
5 minutes.
Nice. Sounds good. We
Yes,
will be
we-
back
take it.
shortly.
Beautiful.
Oh man.
Welcome back, everybody. Jeremy, who's playing Tarjum, is going to be 2 spinning squares, probably for the remainder of this, as something has freaked out my camera. So let's jump back in.
Commander, your pilot has made a suggestion. What's the next step?
Well, definitely think we need to take all things into consideration. I think it's a good idea. Mr. Vasily, can you go ahead and try to implement your plan in a nice casual method? Let's not spook what's going on here, if we could.
Well, it was more of a interpretation rather than a plan of action. Do you mean to try to move the comet off its course, or to communicate to it that we can? Can we? Oh, he's back.
Huzzah!
Sir, I would like to suggest that we do know. I'm extrapolating here, but I feel like we know 2 things that may help us. One is essentially curiosity or a question, which is polarons, and happiness, which is tachyons. I wonder if we couldn't attempt to phrase a very short question. Say a quick burst of tachyon followed by a quick burst of polaron, and see what it responds back with.
Yeah, it's definitely worth a shot. We've tried everything else, so yeah, let's try to talk to this little lost comet out here.
Yeah, so you send out these streams, you get a bunch of tachyons back. It definitely seems happy that you're trying to communicate with it, but it doesn't seem to be able to convey anything beyond that.
Oh, what about we can send a pattern, right? Like a visual pattern. What if the pattern we send was basically a mapping of its double loop into the sun with a negative, with unhappiness, and then a subsequent pattern of that same pattern but slightly altered, so it misses the sun with a happiness and maybe a question mark somehow. I don't think we can do the question mark, but basically ask it if it wants us to move it.
Interesting.
I like your plan, Vasily. However, I'm going to have to do some calculations to see if we are even able to generate enough power to move something that is 75% the mass of Earth's moon.
I mean, we have our new
Weird, right? You've just been outfitted with a ton of graviton.
This is all a coincidence. It wasn't planned at all.
Are these... Okay, question about the graviton weapons. Are they torpedoes or are they phasers?
Both.
Both. Oh, man, that's cool.
Yeah, gravimetric torpedoes and graviton arrays.
You're suggesting we simply blow it off course.
Or suck it off course.
Like a light kiss, sir. Like you said.
I think we're far past that.
Maybe we can blow off a piece of it which just happens to have the materials we need also. It's a win-win-win.
Just got to get it to let go of you.
I love the idea of that pattern that you were talking about, Vasily. I wonder if we could trace the patterns using our graviton beam, followed by a mission of tachyon beam, or maybe sandwiched between the two to let it know that we have good intentions and say, here's the first path, and that, shoot past the comet, indicating the direction it would go, and then maybe we expend one torpedo and do the same kind of measure and then plot the next course.
Can we plot
Visually.
a new trajectory for it that it doesn't run into anything? Because there's, from what I understand, there's 2 planets that it needs to avoid as well as the sun, and I feel like we should probably do that before telling it we're gonna send it off that way or something. But I just shoot things, so you.
I mean, orbital mechanics is anything is possible. Our science guy would be able to handle it.
If they weren't on leave.
Yes.
Actually, I mean, technically, you've got somebody that charts courses all day long sitting right in front of you.
Well,
I wonder real
Celia,
quick,
you
Al,
can do this.
Is there? Yeah, we'll do that. But I have a question. Is there a way to, with the fact that I am a trained negotiator, my diplomacy, is there a way I can maybe get an idea if, we have an idea what this thing is trying to do, is trying to reach out and talk to us. Is there any sort of reasoning that I can make out of it? Like, is it really trying to have for example, is this it's saying, hey, don't go, is there more to what's going on? Am I able to discern anything about these patterns other than just the surface pictures we have?
I mean, you get the sense that this thing maybe doesn't even really know how to communicate. It's
Okay,
just
it's very
capable of
interesting.
doing these things and is trying to somehow, um, equate that on its end. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you. So it's not
Like maybe
complex
it
thinking
might be
enough
trying
to.
really hard to do the same thing that you're trying really hard to do.
I got you. I got you. Okay. Yeah, Vasily.
So what's the order of operations here? I guess is the question.
Well, I can plot a course, but I think somebody needs to science out how we would move it. I could figure out where we need to move it, but somebody needs to figure out how we would actually accomplish that. It's not my area.
I mean, Arjav, you're pretty sure that you could use gravimetric torpedoes to reroute just about anything.
Right. But it's whether we're doing it in a manner that isn't going to harm this creature that could smoosh us.
So this sounds like it's a chart a course task with an assist, as far as the torpedoes go. And let me see. What page is that on? Helm. So
222.
Navigator plot course. So this is a reason plus con, assisted by the ship's computers plus con, so you would get a reroll. And I'll also give you an assist with Tarjev's reason plus security. It is difficulty 3.
What do we have?
I am going to pay 4 threat, however. Make that difficulty 5, because 1 for each of the planets that's in its way, to try to avoid it.
Okay, so reason plus con's going to be 15 for me. Astronavigation for focus.
Yep.
I get my whatever it is interlink because I'm using the
Ship's
computer. So that'll be 3 dice. I will buy. We have 5 momentum. I will buy 2 dice with momentum
Nice.
for 5 to roll. And I get to use cautious if I do that. So. Alrighty, on a 15. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 successes.
All right,
Nice.
I see 6 successes. So now let's roll the ship, which I believe is going to be the ship is going to be 11-2. So
Are you rolling or should I?
you can roll. Just roll
Okay.
1 die.
Yeah.
Looking for 11. Use crit. All right, ship
I'm-
doesn't really help much. Oh, you can re-roll that though.
There you go.
There you go. So now we're up to
7.
7. And Tarjev, your reason plus security as an assist here.
So we got a 13.
Nice.
2 successes.
You only get to roll 1
Oh.
when you're assisting.
Sorry.
We'll
The
take that
2
2.
then, yeah.
Do you have any focuses that might apply to
Mm.
this type of weaponry or anything?
Not really. Most of my stuff was more ground-based,
Right.
away team stuff.
So that's still 8. So you're going to generate 3 momentum there.
Unless you want to count persuasion. We're persuading it to move.
No, because right now you're just doing the calculations. So
Yeah.
you believe that with 9 gravimetric torpedoes detonating all at the same time in a specific location will start to move it off its trajectory. You'll just have to help out a little bit with your you'll have to reverse your tractor beam and help nudge it just a little bit after the torpedoes have gone off.
Excellent.
So we've determined that 9 torpedoes will be necessary to move it off course. If I may suggest that when we communicate to the entity, we show it the 9 torpedoes and its adjusted course, but perhaps we can also show it that we need the Romulan ship out of the way, so that we perhaps accomplish both tasks.
Yeah. Would there be a way to coordinate this attack of the torpedoes so that they hit on that side? So if in a chance that perhaps it has its own hiccup, it will maybe momentarily let go of the Romulan ship and it'll be blasted away?
Yeah, I would assume that this would be away from the Romulan ship for the most part.
Alrighty, would there be a way I can maybe rally everybody and kind of get everybody really focused on this and let them know like exactly how much is riding on this, since we are running out of time?
I mean, there is a rally maneuver, but I think that's more to get hit points back to people. But I mean,
create an advantage. Excuse me, is what I was trying to.
Yes, create an advantage. So, what type of advantage would you like to create?
I want to try to just focus everybody, laser focus everybody's attentions to get everybody to just be as focused and as prepared to do this as possible, to really coordinate our tactical team effort here to make sure that everybody is working in concert, to make sure that everybody is going to be able to just know the plan and execute the plan smoothly.
All right, give me, let's do presence plus command, difficulty 2.
Okay, presence plus command, that difficulty, then it's going to be a 16. So it's 11 plus 5. Yep.
Speech.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Nice
Do
roll.
I have my focus of diplomacy or
Yep.
oh, not, I'm sorry, of team dynamics? Without
Yes, team dynamics would be the one that you want.
Okay, cool.
You have a 5. Your so your crit range is what? 4 or 5?
Yeah, this is command. You said that's what it's based off of. Yeah, it's 5. Yep.
Okay, so that's 4 successes. So I'm gonna let you actually spend both of them to create the advantage. Expert teamwork 2. Jot that down.
And I will say, we're only going to have one shot at this, everyone. Because if this doesn't work, this thing is not going to let us forget it. We have our captain is down. We must rise to the occasion. The lives of those Romulans will depend upon what happens here now, and I have faith in all of you.
So, so this is the communication effort. Who is going to lead this effort? Because I think there's going to be a couple of assists here.
Specific. So you're asking who specifically is going to fire everything, or like take out?
Nope, we're not firing torpedoes yet.
Okay.
We are going to try to. I thought you wanted to communicate with, like, trying to create a diagram.
Okay.
In space that this thing might, like understand.
Right. Okay. Well, so it's got to
I
be
feel
somebody.
like I should be part of
Yeah,
it.
probably should definitely be the doctor, I would think, for sure. 'Cause she's already got a rapport established. Yeah, so. Because I'm not very good at computers. I'm not going to get on and do it.
And then assisted by Gabriel Martin.
Gabriel and
they were
perhaps
working on this as the other two were calculating how many bombs you needed, and while you were giving your rousing speech. So let's see, what do I have left for threat? All right, I'm gonna spend 3 threat here. All right, so this is going to be insight plus you can use medicine on this, and it's going to be assisted by the ship's let's do structure plus science. And Matt's insight plus engineering. This is going to be difficulty. I just spent 6 threats, so this is going to be difficulty 8.
Okay.
Is there any way I can assist them as well?
You already did. You get.
Okay.
Oh, your expert teamwork is going to reduce that by 2 and make it difficulty 6.
Oh,
Nice.
okay. Whew. All right.
Oh my gosh, we're
Yeah.
definitely using determination and teamwork on this.
So,
Hopefully
Jissa,
I'm
how
gonna-
would you like to go about this?
It's a good thing that determination got saved earlier.
Oh.
Well, but Jissa's the lead, so Jissa hasn't spent their determination yet.
Yeah, I think it would be up to Jissa to do it.
Well, I mean, this is the time, right?
Right?
This is the time.
You have any
The time
values
is
that
now.
come into play here?
What was that?
Have any values that come into play here?
Diplomacy. Values. Respect to life when at all possible. Bringing others together, and mindfulness.
I would
Are
say
any
that
of those-
probably respecting life is all of its forms. That's
Mhm.
pretty good. That's pretty solid right there.
Mm-hmm.
So, what that means is, your first dice that you, if you're going to spend that determination, your first dice automatically rolls 2 successes. Would you like to purchase up to 2 more dice?
Yes. Yes, I will.
So that would cost all the momentum you have left in the bank,
Okay.
and you get to roll 4d20.
Wow. Wowie wow. Wow.
So what is
Okay.
your reason plus medicine, or reason plus medicine?
Okay, reason is 10, medicine is 5.
So I see 1, 2, 3, 4 successes so far, plus 2 from your burning of your determination. That gives you 6 successes.
Wow.
You still have the ship assisting you with structure and science, and you still have Gabriel Martin assisting you with insight plus engineering. So if you guys want to make those rolls.
I roll the ship.
Yeah, you
Now
can
is
roll.
that
Structure
2
plus-
d20?
It's just 1.
Just
All assists
okay.
are just 1d20. Essentially, it
one.
adds another die to your pool, basically.
Okay. 11.
All right, and my assist is just a single d20 as well, right?
Correct.
Oh,
Yay.
I'm off by 1.
Did you miss it?
Yeah, you got a 17.
Okay. All right. But you still have 6 successes altogether. You're not adding anything else to momentum. That is enough to send the message. And the gluon stream dissipates from both you and the Romulans.
Ooh.
Yes. Yeah, I actually like slapped the arm of the chair, like, yes, we did it, kind of.
And at this point in time, Vasily is able to ease the ship out in such a way that you are no longer in the comet's trail. And
Commander, recommend we tractor beam the Romulan shuttle out of harm's way as well.
Yes, indeed. I appreciate the suggestion.
Do you want to transport them to the medical bay, or do you want to bring them into the docking bay and have my team meet them there?
Let's transport them straight to medical if we could.
actually, as soon as the gluons drop, they warp away.
Oh.
I mean, hey, they can go melt elsewhere. That's fine.
Go
Mr.
melt.
Martin, are you able to hail them at all?
I will try.
You'll get no responses.
No response, Commander.
Well, you're welcome, I say under my breath to myself.
So,
Let's
Target.
remove the red alert and put the ship back to regular conditions. Good work, everyone.
Tarjev starts organizing his team to be able to load those 9 torpedoes into the tubes, and you get yourselves into position. You're able to launch, create your little gravimetric anomalies, and nudge the comet off to the side a bit. You follow up with a little bit of your reverse tractor beam. Meanwhile, the whole time, tachyons are swirling all around you. All your displays are lit up. And then you notice that like the comet itself starts like almost like shaking, like almost like a like an earthquake type thing, and it continues moving off in the direction, but a huge chunk of crystal is deposited right in front of you as it continues on its path.
It pooped on us? Is that what you're
You beat
saying?
me to it, sir.
Well, I said
There's
that
thanks for you.
Scanning,
yes.
so that comet poop could be potentially very valuable.
Yeah, if we could, let's tractor that back in. Let's get that secure so everyone is safe. I'm going to go check on the captain.
Do we have
Captain is-
additional feelings? I'm sorry. Do we have additional feelings about the what the
Oh,
comet is
yeah.
feeling?
Thankfulness, joy, happiness.
Can we send some like just some like happy tachyons back its way?
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well?
absolutely, absolutely.
Maybe even Vasily could like do some cool like loops or some kind of neat display.
Yeah.
Spirals around the tail.
Could we set up some sort of beacon or probe like by the comet so that nobody else tries to like mine it on the
like
way
it.
or whatever?
Sure.
Good
We
thinking.
explain to it what we're doing, but basically says, "Hey, sentient comet, leave it alone."
Sounds
Or
like a
it
plan.
will mess
Awesome
you up.
Like approach
it-
it, you're beware beware of space entity.
Right?
Yeah.
We make it a
Uh,
little friend.
And you get that when you get that crystal back to Narendra Station, they're like, "Where did this come from?"
Well,
long
so
story.
while we're loading all of the gravimetric weapons and everything, I'm just like, wow, this isn't what I was expecting today. But when they're like, where did this come from? I'm like, just another day on the Ginsberg.
And that is follow the leader.
Oh,
Nice.
Awesome.
love it. Very cool.
I
Nice
feel
job,
like we need to
Al.
send a we need to contact a California class to initiate second contact on that comet.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great
Very
adventure.
awesome.
Great adventure.
Well,
Well done.
we have a giveaway to give away. So let's do that. I'm
Let's
going
do
to.
the rules
time.
digest first.
Okay, so rules digest. We're going to first of all close.
Get in there if you're not in there yet. Got time. Right now.
This will tell you how to deal with those pesky space entities.
Okay, so I
Turns
drew
out-
myself, which I knew was going to happen one of these days, and we're going to try this again. P. Goodman 13 wins the copy of the Rules Digest.
Nice. Congratulations.
Make sure you drop. Actually, I can drop you a message. I'll drop you a whisper to make sure we get your mail info so we can send that off to you. And for the map tiles, Polite Canuck, congratulations.
Yeah,
I know
great
you were
job.
looking for a minute. You had to go out and have a puff with your wife. If you didn't hear this, congratulations, and we will drop you a message to make sure you get your tiles. Why don't we do a quick round of outros from everybody? Let's start with Adela.
Fabulous. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for watching. I am
You cut out.
Yeah, her volume's gone.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
that was weird. We got the gist of it though. Kevin, why don't you give us an outro.
Yes, hi, I'm Kevin. Thank you so much for watching. I can be found online at the socials at KevRan Games, or running my podcast, Game Night Heroes, or being on some other stuff, which I've done other stuff with Jeremy, so come check that out too. We do lots
Yay.
of cool, fun stuff. Recently we were on Superior Adventurers Guild. He ran an adventure. I got to be a crusty cantankerous halfling. It was a lot of fun. So thank you, though. Thank you, Al. Thank you, everybody. And yeah, I'm looking forward to next month when we get to do this again.
And when's your you're currently running? Is it a 3-parter, or was it just a one-shot last night?
Oh no, it's a 3-party. I'm glad you said that. I'm running the premiere of La Notturna, which is a game that's currently on Kickstarter from the Ali Rebelli publisher out in Italy. We're the North American debut. I'm game mastering a game that is the official prologue to their campaign setting.
Oh,
so
nice.
yeah, please come check that out. Yeah.
Cool.
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you.
Let's go with Matt.
Well, hi everybody. Well, I guess, or bye everybody. Matt here, playing Lieutenant Commander Gabriel Martin, Chief Engineer. I had a great time tonight. I don't really have a whole lot in the way of social stuff I can share, but it's been a blast. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Can't wait to do it again next month, and hopefully we'll see you all next time.
Nice. And our newcomer, Andrew.
Hey, thanks everybody for watching. This has been a blast. I'm really happy to have joined the crew. You can find me online at Sword Compass. In March, I'll be at GaryCon. If anybody's going,
Nice.
come play games with me or just say hello. And yeah, it'll be D&D, unfortunately, or fortunately, whatever. That's what I know how to run. So, but
That's totally fine.
But yeah. This is awesome, and I hope to be back next month and on our continuing mission.
I'd give you inspiration there if that was a thing. For and I guess, Al, why don't you do yours?
Yeah, awesome. Like, that was a lot of fun. The way you guys dealt with it and came up with ideas was significantly different than the last time I ran it, so that was kind of fun to see. It also can get expanded into a longer 4-hour type mission if you need to. If you enjoyed it, go check out the Anomalies Mission Brief Pack, download it. If Modiphius sees, 50 of those go tonight, they'll know it's all our fault, which is awesome. And I really want to give a shout out to continuingmissionssta.com. If you haven't found that site yet, it is all the unofficial fan-produced stuff for Star Trek Adventures. It is a phenomenal resource of things. If you can't find it in one of the Modiphius books, you can likely find it on that site.
Nice.
And also, while you're there, check out the Continuing Conversation podcast. I've been on the last few episodes talking about roles in Star Trek and how you can really capitalize on being each of the different roles on the bridge. So thanks for watching.
Yeah, when is Security Officer coming out?
I think that's... Oh, no, I think that might have already gone by.
Oh, I'll have to go check.
Look it up.
Yeah, I'll have to go take a look. And I'm Jeremy Hochhalter.
It might
Thanks
be
for
next week.
Next week?
Yeah, it might be next week.
If it is, I'm going to check it out next week. I'm Jeremy Hochhalter. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Join us on Wednesdays at 2:30 p.m. I look at Adela to double check. Yeah, for our Through the Mists Ravenloft actual play. What else is going on? I think that
Jeremy, don't forget to say that we're doing the second Saturday of the next 2 months.
Yes. Second Saturday of every month, we're going to be doing this. So join us next time. Follow, subscribe, get the notifications for when we go live, and we're going to have rotating guests on here as well. So it'll be fun to have new, fresh faces here pretty much every month to some extent. I think that's it. Follow me on Twitter and Mastodon at WHPubs, and we will see you next month. It would be, I think, the 11th of March is our next Star Trek adventure. So we will see you then. Thanks for joining us, and have a good night. Bye. I mean, live long and prosper. This one.